Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another video courtesy of Concept Soup. So, this is just how easy PC repair can be sometimes. It's literally this easy sometimes. Actually, in fact, I'd say most of the repairs are this easy. And when they're not this easy, then I just say, hands off, baby. So this is a low quality unit I had into the shop today. And the complaint was it's not turning on. So they picked up an RX 580 to chuck in this machine that they picked up off, I think, Facebook Marketplace. Of course, looking over the unit itself, as soon as I took that glass panel off, I was like, yeah, not going to happen. So obviously tested the power, and then I had a look around. I just knew instantly what the problem was probably going to be. I mean, you know it's good when you look at your power supply and it's got Venoscorp written on it. Venoscorp? What the hell is that? It must be some sort of system integrator or something, because there's also a Venoscorp CPU cooler on this motherboard. So of course, looking over the motherboard, it's a low-end banger, which is fine. I mean, that's what some people have to have sometimes. Obviously, the first thing I noticed, of course, these horrible ketchup mustard coloured cables, no sleeving on them whatsoever. That's like my first indicator that this is a low quality power supply. And then we've got the RX 580 in there. That's the Armour one. I've seen it loads of times, used it myself a load of times. Good card. But it's being powered by two Molex, which is never ideal. So that was another thing that tipped me off. And just in general, the quality of the unit. I know that people use the worst possible, cheapest power supplies in these. So when what I would normally do is change the RAM, do this, that and that, I mean, nothing even powered on. So that just tells me power supply must be the problem. So we went ahead. We obviously swapped out the power supply. I had a TX850M ready, just spare. So I decided to use that. And of course, with that all plugged in, it would now boot up. So I went ahead and looked at the spec of the machine, and it's i5-3470, so it's not the worst. It could be a lot worse. You've got 16 gigs of RAM in there, I believe, in addition to the RX 580 8GB that the customer installed. And the motherboard is some sort of like OEM thing. It doesn't even have like an identifier on hardware info, so it's bargain basement. However, looking at the desktop of this computer, I was looking at what games they're playing. It's Minecraft, Valorant, that kind of like is it Warframe? Yeah, very, very light esports type games. So really, like, for those kind of games, this kind of setup's absolutely fine, isn't it? You're going to still be getting pretty decent frame rates, at least 60 frames, 1080p. Even in Valorant, you could probably get 144 if you get the settings right. The other thing is, of course, just a hard drive, no SSD, which does make the computer take a long time to boot up. But if it's just for budget gaming, it's probably fine if you can deal with waiting for it to load up. So really, that was the end of that. I just went ahead and run a Heaven benchmark, just to make sure all the new graphics card is behaving, because they hadn't actually used it yet. And that was it. Chuck in a Cooler Master 650 watt, charge a customer for that, charge a customer for the labour, and see you later. Next job on the list today is a PC that doesn't display any picture. The customer's already taken apart their computer, which is kind of handy, I guess, but they didn't have to do that. So they've got their motherboard assembled. Looks like all their RAM sticks are in correctly. The processor they're using is a 5600X Ryzen. This is an Aorus X570 board. So I'm guessing my first thing is going to be, it's probably not displaying a picture because the BIOS isn't compatible with the CPU, because most of the X570s don't work out of the box. So what we're going to try first, just out of curiosity, is I want to actually see if an Athlon 200GE will actually boot this board, because that would be pretty interesting. So yeah, we've got a power supply off. Let's just unhook the CPU. So yeah, 200GE only works on some B550 and some X570 boards by the looks of it, which is like fair enough, isn't it? It is old. I just thought it might be one of those CPUs like the master key. It just works on everything. So we've got 2300X here. X570 should support 2nd gen, so should be all right. Oh, hey, we have got a picture. Check it out. BIOS has been reset. Oh, so it's just required a bit of patience. That's fine. Right, so power supply off. We're going to cut now. I'm going to go put the new BIOS on a memory stick, but that's pretty boring for you, so we'll not subject you to that boredom. But we've got our USB stick ready. All right, so yeah, we managed to get the board up and running. Just a simple BIOS update. I'm glad I had that 2300X lying around. Actually, I was going to put that in a build, but I think I might just keep it around for that very reason. So yeah, we've done that. Now basically we're just going to assemble a computer. That's pretty much it. We're also going to change out the power supply because the guy has a load of like very fancy Corsair white extensions, but they're Type 4, which means that they don't go with his current Corsair. Actually, this is a pretty nice power supply, the RM1000. It's just that they use Type 3 power connectors, so you can't use the Type 4 in the Type 3. Or at least you shouldn't. You should always be using the correct cables, particularly with the power supply, a very critical component. So yeah, let's do that. Let's build up a computer. Our final repair today is none other than our old friend bent pins. So yeah, we got this PC coming to the shop. It's some old banger. It's got like an FX83 something in it, the old FM2 platform, but you know, for a little bit of Fortnite, that's fine. So we have the CPU here. The pins are bent to shit, so we're going to be using a very, very fine flathead screwdriver. We're going to be bending those back, try and keep those straight. A very fine edge does help you not move other pins while you move those. You'll see me use a pair of tweezers occasionally, just because it's a little bit faster, but when I do the touching up, make sure they're nice and straight, I do use the very thin flat-headed screwdriver to get those nice and straight. One of those pins was completely crushed, means that there's just no chance you're going to be able to bend that back to straight, so I just pulled it straight off, and I just crossed my fingers and hoped that was a ground pin and not like a memory controller or some other very important stuff. So, and you know, not to spoil the surprise, but I did get lucky. So let's pop this all together, and we'll do a little fast forward, little montagey type thing, like we like to do here on Concept Soup. Yes! I'm the best. I'm the best! And as you can see, I'm very happy about the result. Yeah, we got a working PC. It came with some like really funky Zalman cooler on the graphics card, but it's a GTX 465. Pretty crap little graphics card really, but you know, for a little Fortnite PC, FX chip, GTX 465, it's fine, isn't it? It's fine. Like for a bit of Fortnite, you know, a bit of casual stuff, that's no problem whatsoever. I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, please like, subscribe, share, do all that good stuff. Get your nan involved, get your auntie involved. Everyone loves PCs. Yeah, I'm going to stop talking now. See you later. Been Concept Soup, out.